Okay, so today we're going to be working on improving my timer. My so here it is in all its glory. The This is just finishing one small. Oh my goodness! This is just finishing one small aspect of this page, which is going to be the sort of pre-game lobby, I guess, is what I'm calling it, where one will sign up for one of several divisions that they want to be in, because the division that you're in determines what song and what difficulty of that song you're playing. And well, one of the things you need to know whenever you log into the game and go to the multiplayer page, you need to know when the match actually starts. Because I'm doing like a globally synchronized match system, not like matchmaking. It's not that kind of multiplayer, and not like a bunch of private lobbies. It's not like that multiplayer either. You know, it's weird. I can't think of other games that do that. I guess it's kind of like a world event in an MMO where those have like a specific time. Um, no, I guess Trackmania's Cup of the Day is kind of feels unique in that way a little bit. Hmm. It's probably sensible to have other forms of multiplayer. Uh, yeah, that would be. I think that would be intuitive, as something like you would intuitively expect to see is other forms of multiplayer. But I don't know if I don't know how late into the development I'm gonna end up doing that, because it's hard enough to do just this one thing, and I'd have to have some generalized system to connect players. It's a separate problem. Don't try to engineer that right now. Oh, my brain. That's what my brain would do. It's like, ooh, you say you can't do this? Let's think of how it can be done. Of course it can be done. I just need to finish this thing first. I decided I was going to do this thing before I do some other things. And then maybe later we can come back and focus on multiplayer again. But we just have too many things to work on. So, all right. I'm not even. This isn't me talking to you. I'm talking to myself. I'm giving myself a pep talk. What was I going to talk about? Oh, I don't really have anything to say about this topic, but for some reason, what was entering my head was I like things that are. I like the phenomenon of things being simple but difficult. You know, something being simple doesn't make it easy. That's basically what I was thinking in my head. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of simple things that are really hard. I was going to say programming is like that, but it's kind of not. Programming kind of isn't simple. Uh, cuz the thing that you make out of the program is generally not simple. And the features of the language are sort of designed to facilitate you not making simple things, and so the language itself kind of has to be. difficult, not simple. I mean, you can make complex things out of simple things. I guess it doesn't necessitate the language being not simple. But certainly JavaScript isn't simple. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that just are baked right into it that you have to deal with. I'm confused. Okay, now I remember the purpose of this. This is like a whole structural thing. Like, you can't even display the table. You can't display really any of the UI until you've received the basic information from the server. That's right. Okay, and then this is the magic where I need to insert my function. I guess I need to insert it twice. Yes, of course I need to insert it twice because this is the initial create function and then this is the every frame thing. This is initialization, this is every other time. And of course, this has to come after this because it depends on it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's just a little bit weird that on the very first frame it will run twice. Right? That feels kind of silly. But honestly, that's a shortcoming of the way I'm structuring the way I'm using this. If I wanted to like have a separate initialization thing where basically to avoid statefulness, I've sort of come to this way of doing things. Yeah. Okay, so we need a function. What is the function gonna be? Get, let's see. The match start countdown, something like that. Timer. Okay. So we're going to do some kind of like, we're converting it to hours, minutes, and seconds, which is like some base 60 calculations in a sense, I think. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Yeah. So if I do this, so there's that. What does this tell me? I think this is going to be the number of seconds. Is that right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So we could do like let seconds equal this. This is just a feeling. I want this to be here. I want to use the same variable in each calculation. Oh, there need to be some if statements in here too. This might still work. We can test it. Isn't it F2 to rename? Yeah, it is. Now remainder just gets, yeah. Can I do this all in one line? Probably. All right, let's see what that gets us. Ooh, wow. Oh, I know. Actually, I have at least one error. This is pretty close to being exactly correct the first try, but I have at least one error, which is this. It needs to be left padded. Better install LeftPad.js. Can't figure this out on my own, man. I just, it's such a hard problem, and I I really just want a reliable and fast solution that's guaranteed to work. This is why people make libraries, you know. I wouldn't want to reinvent the wheel. uh... You know, actually, this is actually slightly more complicated. Because if what if hours is 0, right? What if hours is 0? Hello. Hello, L Unknown. Whoa, this is mad impressive. Oh, actually, no. You said this mad impressive. Thank you. I I don't usually get compliments. I can only react to skepticism. Which part is the most impressive that you? Was it the left padding? The left padding was really impressive, wasn't it? Well, this looks pretty good. Everything because I understand it. Oh. Well, thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. I need to test this function. I really... Where do I put code to make it only run one time? I know the answer to that, and I don't like it. So what I do is I take this and I call it from index. Just to do a quick little, just a cute little test. And we have to import it. I'm a web developer. Oh, I see. I wanted to pull up a streamer who was coding while I code too. Dude, that's awesome. I You know what? Feel free to mute me because I don't have anything interesting to say and I'm just going to distract you. But, sick. I get that. Expected 1 argument, but got 0. Oh, of course that's true. Obviously that's correct. I want to test some number of seconds. What is my initial value? I want to test basically all the possibilities less than 24 hours just to make sure it's being formatted correctly. 20,000 seconds. Okay, so here's what we do. We're going to console.log some stuff. I should have duplicated this line after I put this in. Feel free to speak your mind because I know how speaking out loud helps me. Yes, 100%. And I'm trying to pretend to be a streamer. So streamers usually talk. They don't just sit there in silence. I'm not a very good streamer though, so I often do just sit in silence. $20,000 seconds, 10,000 seconds, 5,000 seconds, 1,500 seconds, 400. Let's get some more tests going there. 300 seconds, 200 seconds, 100 seconds, and I don't know, 15 seconds. There we go. Here's all the testing. Okay. Ooh, something has gone wrong. Do I divide by 1,000 before I even sent it in there? I bet I do, because I named this variable num seconds. And this is in units of seconds. I don't need to multiply by 1,000. Multi-cursor. Okay, there we go. Let's scrutinize these numbers here. Do I believe that that's correct? Well, here's the funny thing. I haven't actually done the math. Well, let's start with the easiest one. Is this 15 seconds? Yes, I do believe that that's 15 seconds. The next one is supposed to be 100 seconds. 1 minute and 40 seconds is 100 seconds. Yes. The next one is 200 seconds. 3 minutes and 20 seconds is 200. What did I just say? 200 seconds. Yeah, 3 times 60 is 180 plus 20. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then 300 seconds is 5 minutes. Yeah. Dude, I think it's perfect. Yeah. The only other obvious problem is that if you pass in a negative number, it's going to explode. The math checks out. Yeah, he did the math. Ooh. We've traveled into the negative time dimension. We're now at we've left padded a 0. And we put the negative 15 in there. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so all I need to do is add an if statement, and then we're good to go. Ah, here we go. If they've passed in a number less than 0, execute the code as if it were 0. I still don't know what it'll do in that situation. I hope it's 0:00. Yes, that is what it is exactly. Perfect. Perfection. I don't mean to distract you, but how have you been working on this project? You feel free to distract me, good sir. I am here. Oh, how long? Yeah, how long have I been working on it? Too long. So long I'm embarrassed to admit it. It's been about 6 years I've been working on it in my spare time. Um, it's I promise it's significantly more than just this ugly ass table. There's actually so this is a game. First of all, that might not be obvious by looking at it. This is actually a game. 6 years more than you. Um, yeah. Here, check this out. Look, there's gameplay, I promise. Oh, how loud is this? I think we're good. Yeah, 10% volume. Yeah, it shouldn't explode people's ears. Might explode my ears. Yep. Yep, it's gonna explode my ears. And that might be still exploding ears. I'm sorry. I'll stop. It's a video game. That's so cool. Aw, thank you, dude. It's a video game. Look at it. It's a game. You play. I'm also halfway. If you've never played, if you've never seen people play rhythm games like this before, it might be a little bit impressive. I'm like a mid tier. And look, we've got a results screen, and you can click and drag on this little thing. The data is like incomplete because I stopped halfway into it. And all these little bar graphs update, and you click here's. You ready for this? This is what I put on um this is the marketing. This is the marketing shot. Here we go. I'll put it in the trailer. Wow, deep dive mode. It's got a pretty animation. Look, you can see how bad you did. You can inspect the data. And then you go back. And, ooh, interesting. I just didn't realize how many buttons we have here. It looks kind of crazy. And this is, oh, thank you. This is all vanilla TypeScript. This whole thing. Technically, I use one or two libraries. Okay, here, look, you can inspect my, not my package block. Is it my, here's my tsconfig. Is this where you have the dependencies? Where are the dependencies? Package? Package.json. Here's where you put all of your dependencies. Crypto.js, tsloader, TypeScript, Webpack, Webpack CLI. Oh, that's dev dependencies. That's not, nobody cares about that. I have a CSS font loading module. I don't know what that's from. I have drop zone, which gives me one UI element, and I want to replace this. This is a library that I'm gonna try to get rid of too. It's just to do some really niche thing that I can't even explain. And maybe I'll keep this. This is like a nice little thing that sits on top of the local storage. And this is another thing that does crypto stuff. That's it. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been coding? I've been programming since I was 12 years old. My first programming language was TI Basic, which is the programming language that's built into graphing calculators. Specifically, I started with a TI 83 Plus. And now I'm 30 years old, so I guess it's been 18 years. If you count professional experience only, though, and I didn't actually get a programming job until I graduated college. So that's, I don't know, 5 years professional, 5 years professional experience, maybe. It's 2 and 2, and then maybe one more just recently. Yeah, like 5 years professional. And I've been programming JavaScript for a really long time. That was like one of my first programming languages. I also have, there's a server. Okay, we're there. Okay, check this out. Where is it? It's hiding. Here we go. Okay, don't. This is not model code at all. I do not stand behind this code. But here I've got a game server written in C. This is the entirety of the server right now. But basically, I'm working on multiplayer. That's the big feature I'm working on right now. And so here's the multiplayer server. It's a big while loop. And this is also from scratch, with exception to the SSH or SSL, OpenSSL library. You need that. I'm really bad at C though. Compared to, and well, okay. Realistically, if you show anyone like, oh my god, you wrote a thing from scratch in TypeScript, they're gonna freak out because that's not how professional software development is done. I've reinvented so many wheels here that disgusting. Disgusting. People hate him. The wheel reinventor. What keeps you going? I've been kind of wanting to quit, but I love to code, if that makes sense. What keeps you going? Well, on this project in particular, you see, because the typical game development advice, like if you want to be a game developer, this is what you do. The advice is typically just make a bunch of games. If you want to be a professional game developer, make 100 games, and then you'll be good enough to make an actual real one that can sell for money. That's not me at all. This is the only game that okay, that's not true. I was gonna say this is the only game I've ever wanted to make. That's definitely not true. I've had ideas for like hundreds of other games, and they're all like big and complicated and would take me years to make. Right? This is a basic rhythm game. It's taken me 6 years. But I'm just obsessed with. I want to solve rhythm games. I want to solve rhythm games. I've been involved with various rhythm games for over 10 years, and I've worked on the problem of trying to measure and quantify skill in rhythm games, and I got to the point where if I wanted to like go further with my research, I would need like actual gameplay data. And at some point I realized like, let me just make my own game engine. Cuz like maybe if I go far enough with this research I can like make money off of it or something and like make a cuz this is also part of my philosophy is I don't want to just if I'm going to really solve a problem, and I believe it takes a long time to really solve a problem. If I'm going to figure it out, I do want some kind of reward at the end of it. I'm not the kind of person that I just want to like release it, open source it, because this is a solo project. I'm the only one working on this. I don't have a team because I can't. There's no way I'm going to hand someone and be like, "Hey, guy, here's my code base. Here's my 200 TypeScript files. Have fun figuring out what I did." That's not going to happen. That's completely insane. And then what are they gonna do for me? I've been doing this for 6 years in my spare time, um, and I've been involved in rhythm games for 10 years. I've never met anyone who knows more about the topic of measuring skill in rhythm games than me. So what do they have to offer me? Like, why am I gonna share credit with this person? Um, they're not going to be as committed to the project as I am either. So I just really want to solve the problem. That's it. That's why I haven't quit. I mean, like I've taken breaks before. I went like 5 months without working on this game before. Um, but right now I'm trying to work on it like an hour a day, and do it during a stream time so it's more fun for me. And yeah, I just really want to. No one else is going to do it. Do you keep notes on where you left off? Yeah, this is this is kind of it. This is my note. Well, is this the entirety of my notes? No, I've got several like Google Docs documents as well that kind of just list all the features I want to make and things like that. Um, and I've also got a lot of like, so I've made like AI models to try to quantify the difficulty of step files. And that's all Python code because AI is done in Python for some reason. Um, yeah, I don't write a lot of documentation. I kind of hope that I'll be able to go back and look at the code and understand it because I'm the one that wrote it. That usually works pretty well. But here, so like, I've got this is 100, this is 200 lines. Okay, so here's my to-do list, right? Um, it's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. Each line here is like a to-do item, and I just have a lot of crap to do. And this is all of this stuff is just multiplayer. This is just one feature I'm trying to get done. It's completely insane. The $1 million question was your favorite language. uh, um, so far, I think if you use a language enough, you hate it. If you don't hate a programming language, you haven't used it long enough. Um, I think Python is pretty fun to use. I really like doing list comprehensions. I feel smart when I do that. But I absolutely despise Python because it's so slow. It's like 100 times slower than any actual programming language. So it's just not worth using for most of the time. Like, why use it? Why I don't understand. Like, I use Python at work. Okay, we've got a whole we've got I don't know how to quantify the value of the service that we're doing. Okay, but it's got to be millions of dollars. So we've got like a multi-million-dollar service that we're providing to actual humans, and it's built mostly on a bunch of Python lambdas that just do shit and like send stuff to the database and read stuff from the database. I don't understand why, but they pay me to write Python code, so I write Python code. Whatever. And then TypeScript, oh my god. So TypeScript is actually pretty cool. Um, but the it doesn't let you get low level enough, and it's got a little funny little some funny quirks. And the asynchronous thing where it's like single threaded, but it's but you do asynchronous stuff with it, and then like all the stuff is like event driven. It's weird. It runs surprisingly fast though. Like that's one thing that I kind of got to hand to JavaScript. If you write a for loop that's just doing a simple thing, you can run that for loop like 100,000 times, a million times a second. Like it'll run fast. So that's cool. And I could make complaints about like the Canvas API that I'm using to draw this stuff, and the fact that it's connected to HTML, which is and the DOM. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with that. And then C. Okay, C is great. Let's see. Did I open my C program? Okay, check this out. C is the best programming language because your program runs fast. And that's honestly one of the most important things when you're writing a program, I think. But you have to forward declare your functions, which is completely archaic and feels bad. And oh, like all the system calls, they do this weird thing where like if there's an error with the system call, there's no concept of throwing exceptions, right? If there's an error with the system call where you're like, "Hey, operating system, do this thing for me." And you have to do that all the time. If there's an error, it'll set an error code on a variable that just exists in the global scope and you have to know about it. You have to know that it exists, um, and you ignore that at your peril. uh, there's just that's just like a beginner's perspective, honestly, with C. Um, I like that C runs fast, though. Obviously, that's fantastic. No, I like being distracted. This is fun for me. This is how this is look. This is this is how we do. This is how we build relationships, man. This is what it's all about. This business is about relationships. Yeah, I feel like I'm making money when I'm talking to you. God, I sound like such a creep. Do you have a coding buddy? I have a duck to look over my work. A coding buddy. I mean, I have a good friend or two. Um, like right now, I have like a video call. Not actually, no. I just like it's not actually a video call. I just like a Discord call with a friend once a week, who I knew from college, and if I feel like it, I can like show him my code because he's a programmer too, and I can be like, "Hey, look, here's this thing. Here's the latest feature I did with my game. Isn't it cool?" And I have to like try to explain to him what I did. Um, that's kind of a quote unquote coding buddy, I guess. But um, so you mentioned a duck, right? Like, okay, so that's the rubber duck thing. That's the classic thing in programming, right? Like, if you don't know, if you like have a question about programming and you're not sure how to code a thing, you're not sure why you're getting this error or something like that, you go talk to your rubber duck. Um, and just by explaining the problem, you'll hopefully figure it out. That's what the rubber duck is supposed to do to you. Do for you. um, yeah, generally I don't really have someone who I like look up to for advice about how to code things. You throw the duck. Yeah. Um, I just I just try to code it and figure it out, and if it sucks, then well, I guess If it sucks, then I hope my users will tell me. Eventually, if I had any users, like I have a Discord server um, where I've got like one or one and a half people who occasionally will play my game, which is fine because the game isn't done. And ultimately, they're who I'm beholden to. If it sucks, then they'll tell me that it sucks, and then I have to go fix it or ignore them, which I often do. Me either, so I just throw the duck, and I feel bad about throwing the duck. I mean, sometimes I'll use ChatGPT or I'll Google questions. Actually, okay, maybe I could recommend this as like. So I haven't made use of this network as much as I possibly could have. Um, there's Okay, so it depends on your coding philosophy. If you're into what I'm into about programming, so I like the writing things from scratch. I don't like using libraries. If you're into that sort of ethos, that handmade ethos, then then you could check out the Handmade Network, which is a Discord server and it's also a website. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of Casey Muratori? Have you heard of Jonathan Blow? These are some handmade people. I like the handmade stuff. I don't. No, you haven't, sadly. Okay, well, you need to look up Casey Muratori. Okay, all right. If you call yourself a handmade person, then you need to be like, okay. Well, I hold on. I don't know what my search history related to Casey is going to be like. I just want to type it so you know like what his name looks like. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing that comes up is his Twitter. You probably don't look at his Twitter. You probably look up his website, and you probably go to Handmade Hero, which... Well, this is where he codes the game from scratch. Where's like the Handmade Network? I don't know. I think his website is or his YouTube channel is Molly Rocket though. This one. He makes freaking books and stuff too, but he's a programmer. Go to his YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel is Molly Rocket, and then you could search Handmade Hero as well. Anyways, I recommend him. He's cool. Is that what you meant by a coding buddy? You can... Hey, you know what? I'm accepting applications for coding buddies right now. All you have to do to apply is to show up every day at my streams. I think the screen froze. Oh God, what have I done? Is the screen moving again? I'm sorry. I blame my internet. While you're thinking of questions, I'm gonna think of what exactly I'm supposed to do next. What time do I stream? Around now. Oh damn. I now I have to like commit to a coding schedule or streaming schedule. Between like, okay, I'm in Central Time. So, like 5:30 to 8:30 ish Central Time. Central, I guess we're daylight time right now. Sometime around 5:30 to 8:30. I don't stream Friday nights though. I stream after work generally. I don't usually stream Friday nights. I don't usually stream on the weekends either. Uh, yeah, that's when I stream. I should stream more. I I'm pretty lazy for this. For how much I claim to care about this project. You're a party animal, I see. Uh huh. For Fridays, yeah. Kinda. I just like play video games and do nothing productive from Friday night to Sunday night. Um. Well, that's not. I'd like to like have a social life during that time too, but that's not always super possible. So sometimes I just play games solo. Yeah. What games so I've been recently Genshin Impact, which is which is not at all representative of my usual taste in games. Um, I've also been playing some Deep Rock Galactic. That's a fun little game that you can play with other people. Um, I'm weird with playing video games. Like, oh, here's like something I'm more proud to admit. Risk of Rain 2. That's a decent game. I like that game a lot. But yeah, like the CS:GOs or the like. I don't know what are the other popular games. The League of Legends or the um, Overwatch. I don't really play those. I never have. I used to play Halo. Actually, yeah, I used to play a lot of Halo. Halo 2 and Halo 3. Dude, those were the days on Xbox. Oh man. Oh my gosh. I was never very good actually at FPS games, but I was like halfway decent. What's like an easy next feature? What matters is that you had fun. There you go. That's the right attitude, man. I mostly play games just to like chill and I like Genshin a lot because it's like about exploration. Um, the story is absolute trash so far. I've hated every second of it. Maybe 5% of the story is redeemable, but just like the way they do it is so bad. Oh my god! But the gameplay is pretty great, and numbers going up. Okay, so that's another weird thing about me. I actually like idle games, like Cookie Clicker, things like that. I've played a good amount of those. And I watch YouTube videos. I watch I watch YouTube videos of other people playing games instead of actually playing the games. That's what I do now in my spare time. Hmm. Could do something like this because I kind of finished the non-server part of the pregame lobby. That's me right now with you. That's funny. True. True though. Yeah, like just before I started the stream, I was like looking at the software development section on Kick and I was like, okay, who out there is living a better life than me? Who's a more diligent, better software developer than me? I have to know if they exist. and I'll just like pop in and make sure nobody's doing anything more impressive than me. And I saw today somebody had been streaming for like 8.5 hours. And I'm like, God damn, dude. I, I wish I had that kind of dedication. Holy shit. I don't do that. I do not stream for that long. That's crazy. That's not like, dude, imagine if I worked on this game diligently for that many hours, right? Although sometimes when you pop into these streams, it's just like idiots chatting with people, talking to chat. Man, I wouldn't be caught dead talking to chat, right? Oh, you heard a cool rumor about Kick? Do tell. Is it that everyone's bots? I would believe it. I would believe it. Let's see. Is there? I just lost track. Here's the if statement. If we receive the initial info. What we could do is we could be like, if this dot current millis until match start is less than 0, then we do one thing. Actually, I should probably switch this around, right? I should be like greater than 0, else do this other thing. Okay, so the rumor. Next year, they will pay you $16 an hour to stream, a minimum of 4 hours. The requirement is to have a face cam and at least one viewer. If they actually do that, then I will stream lol. Huh. Is it 4 hours per day? 4 hours per day? Or is it more like, is it like 4 hours per week? Per day. Huh. Huh. $16 an hour. Well, aren't you a programmer? How does $16 an hour, how does that entice you? Do you not make significantly more than that per hour? Even as a web developer, I know web developers will look down upon, especially by me. Um, but do you not make more than that? It would just be for weekly food. Yeah, that's fair. Could I stream 4 hours per day? Do you? Okay. Here's a question. You're telling me this is a rumor, right? So I doubt you have like all the details. Do you have to do that 4 hours per day thing for 5 days in order to like qualify as, I don't know, an actual person who's worth paying? Or is it just like, if you do it in a day, you will get paid for that time? If you don't do it in a day, then whatever. $16 an hour. Where's the fake? Here it is. Let's do like 30 seconds. From what I've seen, it just says the min of hours to stream is just 4 hours. Would be cool if it actually becomes real. For some reason, I believe that's possible. Because my impression so far is that Kick is like trying to grow, and they'll kind of do crazy things to make it happen. Okay, check this out. Let's see if this works. Boom! All the UI just went away. Yeah. That's not precisely what should be happening, I guess, but that's pretty good. That would be cool, honestly. Like, if Kick started doing that, I might... Well, I could certainly justify doing it on the weekends, right? Could certainly do that. I don't know if I could do it as an everyday thing. Just because I I do a job like a regular like 9 to 5, and then I come do this, and I don't know if I want to just. I feel like I'd get burnt out doing that. I mean, if I here's the thing. It's a lot easier for me to stream for a longer period of time if there's actually a non-zero number of people watching. Um, and it also depends on what you stream too, right? Like I could become right now because I'm kind of obsessed with it. I could become a 4 hour a day Genshin Impact streamer. I could totally do that. I wouldn't do that because I don't think that's not. I'm not. I wouldn't do that. But it's easier to stream gaming. Is what I'm trying to say. Program is really boring, compared to actually playing a video game. I think. Can you stream? Can you stream that right now? No. No. You are the devil on my shoulder, trying to entice me to not be productive right now. Ah, I see. You finally reveal your true intentions. No. I will continue staring at this screen full of text, not doing anything. Okay? That's how I be productive. You don't understand. All right? This is my process. So anyways, by the way, the reason why that worked, why when it hit 30 seconds, the UI just went away, is because I have this, if current millis until match start is greater than 0, do this stuff, else nothing. So this stuff is what makes the UI show up. And I don't know if you noticed this. Okay, so you say the standard web development is usually, you usually don't have it work like that. How do I explain this? Okay, so normally with web development, you go ahead and you create all your HTML stuff. Trying to get people a seizure here. And then if you need to make alterations to it, you need to delete stuff or whatever. You have to go write the code that deletes it, right? It's not usually as if stuff is only there if you keep saying it should be there. This is what I'm doing. What's not typical is immediate mode. Okay, immediate mode is something you see more in game development, where it's like at the start of every frame, you clear the screen and you have to redraw everything again. And then you clear the frame, or there's a new frame, you have to clear everything and draw it again. Clear everything, draw it again. That's immediate mode, where you have to clear everything and draw it again. That's how I'm doing my UI. Because I'm a super cool programmer, I'm elite hacker, I made the HTML work with immediate mode, and I think it's really cool. So I just had to point that out. I wrote this thing called a DOM wrapper, so that any stuff that I make in here, all the UI elements, they all get registered, and then because this is in a draw loop, by the way. See, look, this is in a draw loop. So, it'll automatically delete it if I'm not saying to draw it, which is why it went away. I hope that made any kind of sense. I just think it's cool. So now I have to decide what I want to be displayed to the user when the match is starting. I have no idea what I want to display. I'll just think of like some kind of placeholder for now. Okay, so I'll just do like let starting soon div. A div has an inner text, so I can be like div.innerText. And that should kind of just work. It's not going to have the slightly darkened background here. And where's actually, okay, hold on. Forgot to add it to the document. So what comes next after this? Because this kind of finishes the pregame lobby. I still have to do the server side of this though. I'm just really hesitant to go work on the server. I don't know, the server scares me. Boom, it says match is starting soon. Yay. It's totally positioned wrong. I could go make it say hello world. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, sorry, I didn't see that message. Hopefully this is good enough. You should stop and play. I'll start fresh tomorrow. Look, you don't... If I stop and play, that means I'm going to stop streaming. There's no universe where I start streaming a video game. Just so you know. I may stop soon. I reserve the right to do that. The day could be that day in the universe. I don't think it can. I've consulted the universe, and we're not in the right quantum direction to. It's not in the cards. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. You said you were gonna do some programming, did you not? Have you done any programming, Mr. L Unknown? Ah, your username starts with an L, and in Spanish, that means that it's a male gender, right? Because otherwise it would be law, I think. So I do know that you're a guy. Yes, I reverse engineered it. You have not. Yeah, I know. I expected that you hadn't started programming. I expected it. Yes. I know too much. I'm so no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, nobody else is watching the stream. It could be your and my little secret, and whoever happens to watch the VOD on YouTube. It's our little secret. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to do anything crazy now. Come on. Do the final latency calculation / ping check to make sure everyone's still connected. Do I... All this stuff is server-related stuff. Okay. I have to do server stuff eventually. Let me just talk about this one for a second. So, here's what I'm thinking. The problem I'm trying to solve is that you can be a spectator. You can enter spectator mode, and you can watch someone else. They're basically their key inputs. You can watch that be replayed on your screen. Problem with that is, how do I know? How do I do that synchronization? Is the thing. Actually, okay. And I thought the way to solve that would be to do a latency check. Now that I think of it, I might not do that. Come to think of it, would it make sense to do that when probably what I would do is it would just be like the client asks the server to start spectating somebody. The server says to the client, okay, I'll start sending you the data, but so yeah, I'll start sending you the data. Go ahead and start your replay. Start, playing the music and load the notes at some time position within the song. The server will tell the client what to start it at. And the server can determine that information. Yeah, the server can determine that information based on the time position of the last key event that it received. Like the game time position. Time position within the song, because that comes along with every key event. We know the game time at which the key event took place. So the server can just calculate a time to say to start. It'll just be like, yeah, my most recent key event is whatever. Subtract, I don't know, 2 seconds, some number of server ticks. Does the latency matter in that case? Okay, it might actually. Oh, this is a complicated little mental diagram, isn't it? I think the only latency that would matter is the latency between the spectator client, and the server, not the client being spectated. Because the client being spectated, their latency is sort of already baked in to whatever time value the server happens to have stored. So maybe in that case, maybe in that case it doesn't. That doesn't matter. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's not a very pressing problem to be solving right now. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a really pressing problem. I don't know that it is yet. I don't know that it is. It's good to have thought about it, but I don't know. I don't know how important that is. The client requests the initial data, the server sends some stuff over, and then we reach a state where the game is starting. Okay, and then what happens? So generally, so this thing that I'm calling a playing display is this? No, it's not spectator display. Let me think. So the spectator display, right? No, the spectator display is totally different from the actual multiplayer playing display. Yeah, totally different. Because the spectator, they're getting the key events from the server. Spectators getting the key events from the server, and you won't actually bind any inputs, so that's fine. The spectator will still have a menu that you can pop up, though. The spectator will have a menu that you can pop up to go to the lobby, I guess. Yeah. Spectator can go back to the lobby, and then there's supposed to be like a list of players that you can go and spectate. Maybe that's what I work on next, right? Is like not the pre-game lobby, but the like mid-game lobby. Someone's getting tried. Dude, I only expected to stream for an hour. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. I am totally allowed to leave whenever. But also, this is like a really hard problem. And I don't have a clear picture of what I'm supposed to be doing. So what we would do... Let's rename this file. We'll call this pregame. We'll call this pregame lobby. And then we'll make a new file called midgame lobby. I was supposed to watch for like 15 minutes to get back to work. Yeah, dude, welcome to the club. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this page basically stubbed out, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Okay, that's what I'll do. I fulfilled my legal obligations of streaming for an hour today. I'm good to go. Mid-game lobby. I need to rename this. I wish you the best of luck with your programming. I mean, I didn't really do all the programming I was supposed to do, but that's fine. It's fine. I got to talk about my game and I got to shoot the breeze. It's fine. It was great to meet you. I'll try to be here tomorrow again. Hey, it'd be great if you can make it. I hope to see you. And, you know, if not tomorrow, whenever. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. Absolutely, it was a pleasure. You as well, Unknown. You as well. Absolutely, we draw the heading in the background image because it is a lobby. Okay. So the mid-game lobby, it's not going to be like super complicated, right? It's the list of the players. Live. How live can I make this list of players? I don't know. We already decided we're not going to have the spectators listed. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we want to know what each player's score is, whether they're still connected. Yeah, yeah. We want to know, yeah, what percent they've played through. All these wonderful stats we can put in there. I think, maybe. I might decide that, like, that there's just, like, too many stats or they're not useful. And also, like, you know, sitting here watching this get updated live, you'll probably implicitly realize what the tick rate of the server is. But that's fine. Or maybe I could, like, send the data every other tick to people, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, because realistically, this data does not need to get updated that regularly, does it? Yeah, I don't know. For now, I'll just have it update every time, but I may want to sort of um, make it different from the server tick rate because there might be some other technical reason why I want the server tick rate to be some value. Like at most, this needs to update one every second, I think. But yeah, let's really quick just add like a go to lobby button. Button to on click. Yep. Set it equal to lambda, and then we just do page manager dot set current page pages. Nope. Pages dot, and I haven't added it to the list of pages yet. Page manager. This is totally wrong. Yep. Pre-game. Ooh. Pre-game lobby. Mid. This game is mid, that's why it's the mid-game lobby. I can import you now, right? Yes. And that imports from this, which will just be a blank page. Yes. And you're mad at me currently. Oh, that's why. Ta-da! And then we say button dot inner text. I need to style the button. And it'd be nice to put it someplace, not at the bottom of the screen, right? I know how to do that. Pre-game lobby div, spectate button. Yeah. Okay, so this will be the go to mid-game. Yeah, and we'll put it someplace, like here, I guess. Gotta make sure I add that as the button ID. All right. Here we go. I need to comment out those tests. Or just delete them entirely, because we're done. We've successfully verified that the code works, and now we will never touch it again. Ta-da! That's how you do software testing, baby. You just delete your tests every time. All right. And this will just work perfectly, exactly as expected. It'll show the button, I'll click it, it'll go to a blank page, and then I can end the stream. That's exactly how it's going to work. Here we go. But, okay, that's not how it worked. Let me think. That's fine. Like, I know why these other buttons are here just for, like, testing purposes, so I know why they're there. I mean, realistically, I should just go ahead and move this down a bit. Just move down 40 pixels, right? Okay, there you go. That's good enough. And then we click this. Okay. Huh? At mid-game lobby dot draw. What? Excuse me? I done it pre-game lobby line. Huh? What? What's happening? Here's pre-game lobby, here's mid-game lobby. Line 50. It won't let me leave the page, dude. It won't let me leave the page. At mid-game lobby dot draw. What? What is this error? What is that error? What do you mean, dude? I did not sign up for this error. This is not going according to plan. I'm supposed to be playing Genshin Impact right now. What does this button do? Oh. That's a good joke. That's pretty funny. So why does this button... What? What? I don't... What? Okay, this should just do... Set current page, pages.midgame lobby. That's what it should do. And whenever you do set current page, it sets some return page. This dot current page is equal to page, and we clear the registry. And then whatever, I mean, I guess it could technically come over here and try to execute another draw loop, right? I don't understand. Yeah, that makes no sense. Is it something to do with this? I don't think that should be the case. Because this is at the start of like every page, basically. That shouldn't be causing an error all of a sudden. It's somehow this. Somehow this is causing the error. And what is it saying specifically? It's saying type error. This dot request initial info is not a function. What? Is it somehow? Oh, this has to be me messing up my page declarations, right? That must be it. Ah, yes. Yep. That makes perfect sense. That explains that error precisely. Yep, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, I get it. That's what you get when you copy and paste code sometimes. And it's okay. It's okay to just copy and paste code. It'll give you those errors, but usually if you just remember in the back of your head, oh yeah, copying and pasting code can go wrong sometimes. Maybe you'll pay a little bit of extra attention and it'll all work out. Just like that. You see, just like that, chat. And with that, we can end the stream. We can end the stream. I streamed, as long as I needed to. I guess in retrospect, I did a lot of chatting, but honestly, I view that as productive. Like, I'm kind of promoting my game. In the long run, if I have people watching my stream, I'll want to stream longer and therefore do more work, I think. Unless I hit like some critical mass, at which point I just like can't focus at all anymore. I don't think that's likely to happen though. I just noticed that like this image is kind of terrible looking. Is that normal? Like this there's like color banding going on. It's kind of crazy. I never noticed this color banding thing. That doesn't look great. Definitely want to replace that image at some point. Alright, well anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll hopefully be streaming tomorrow. I did, after all, lead L Unknown to believe that I would be doing that, so I guess I have to now. But there's always a chance that I don't do that. And, well, I guess, jeez, I might not stream until Monday again. That would be a travesty. But yeah, hope to see you. But hope to see you then if I do stream. Until then, farewell.